Hi guys, my name is Robert Baehr. I'm out here today at Glen Helen with Dirt Bike Test, testing 450Fs. Today we rode off-road and moto. I'm a 50 expert rider in the district off-road GPs mostly. My current bike is a Husky FC 250F. I'm a 5'11" and about 180 pounds. So today I got to ride 4 of the 450s, and all right, so the way I rated the 4 bikes today with off-road and moto combined was the Kawasaki I picked first. The Honda was second, the Yamaha was third, and the KTM was fourth, which is a little surprising to me since I own a Husky myself, and I've been a fan of the Austrian brand for a long time with riding Huskies and KTMs myself. To my surprise, the KTM just didn't quite have the flexibility in the chassis that I liked. But to start with the Kawasaki, the motor was amazing. The motor's really smooth and it pulls from down low to high RPM. You don't need to short shift it. You can ride it a gear high if you need it. You can over rev it into the corner if you need to. And I really liked it, really enjoyed riding it. All the suspension on all 4 bikes is done by Todd Davis with TCS. And he's done a fantastic job with all 4 of these motorcycles. The Kawasaki has a kind of a thin, nimble feel, and I was comfortable right away. The ergonomics of it fit my style and my way of riding, and it wasn't as comfortable in the off-road as the Yamaha, but overall it was very good, and on the track it was even better for me. So I rated it first for the day today. The second bike is the Honda. It definitely has a heavier feel and a bulkier feel. The motor runs really smooth and hard. It has a little bit of a hit. Ran it in the number 1 mapping, and suspension was good. Chassis was good. It turned really well. It has the Ride Engineering clamps on it with TCS suspension mods. Played with some settings on the shock and forks on the track today and got it really comfortable. I was really happy with the way it felt. It's pretty planted. It has good turning ability. The Ride Engineering clamps are a 24mm offset and end up letting the bike turn a little freer and a little better. Overall, I really liked the bike. The third bike was the Yamaha, and I think the reason I rated it third is to be honest, the bike is really balanced feeling. It's narrow, it feels light, it definitely feels like the lightest bike of the 4 today, but the turning I just couldn't get comfortable with. I was standing it up in corners, and perhaps it's me, but I just couldn't quite come to terms with turning, and the motor I would say is a little bit of a short shifting motor. It runs hard. It's probably the hardest running motor of the 4, but it felt like you have to ride it a gear high for me, but yet it'll go flat on you. So if you ride it a gear lower, it'll over rev and it just makes noise but doesn't seem to go anywhere. So I think the power on it for me was the least impressive of the 4, but the weight and the narrowness and the agility of the bike made it still come in at number 3 for me. The 4th bike was the KTM, and although I ride a Husky myself, the KTM had a great motor. I would say it's actually the best motor of the 4. It has a FMF head pipe and muffler on it, and it's super, super smooth, pulls from bottom to top. I would say it's actually the best motor of the pack. But I struggled with coming to terms with the chassis. The chassis is extremely rigid. We played with suspension settings. We put some air forks on it today, and also the KYB spring conversion forks. And the bike does work really well. I just found it to be really hard on my hands and shoulders and arms, and just a lot of feedback from the front of the bike. Going down the hills and the big braking bumps, it was pretty good. I just think that for me, a 45-minute GP, it would wear me out, and there's some concerns of hitting something that you don't see, a big square edge in the dust, or at night in one of the night races, and have a get off. So that's the only reason I rated it 4th, is because the chassis to me is just too rigid. The ergonomics of the bike, it's definitely set up for a bigger rider, and I think a lot of you taller riders out there will really like it. We rode it with a tall seat and a stock seat. I think that the tall seat does make a difference. You don't feel the subframe as much if you sit down more. But overall, all 4 bikes today were so amazingly close. I mean, we have to rate these things, but at the end of the day, you could buy any of them, get it set up, and go fast, and they're all really good motorcycles.
If you liked what you saw in this video, come check us out over at dirtbiketest.com on the webs. We have bike tests, product tests, a lot of fresh dirt, and you can even support us by clicking through our links. Hopefully we'll see you out in the trail.